up, everybody, and welcome back to DK's Take. I'm DK with Madden Bomber League, and today we're going to kind of talk about defensive assignments and how they can be implemented into Madden 17 and beyond. But before we go into that, I just want you guys to follow All Business on Twitter and go to his website, web3ks.com, where you can get affordable graphics for your creative needs. He does all of the Madden Bomber League stuff, overlays, whatever you can think of as far as graphics is concerned. He gets it done. He does a great job, and I'm glad that you guys are going to check him out. Before I go into my soliloquy about defensive assignments, I want you guys to know that I have talked to John White and Rex about why the defense assignments couldn't be in Madden 17. And as I've said before, they said that they couldn't put them in because of the fact that the coding, it just messes up the coding real bad. And they're not able to implement it yet. I think that for the future, for like Madden 18 and beyond, there's a huge possibility that defense assignments can be put into the game. I think bringing in the Frostbite engine, if they do, it will be able to open up a lot of avenues to where we can get a lot of new features that we want. Defensive assignments is very, very important, and I'm glad I waited until the ratings came out to do the defensive assignments because there's some interesting things I'd like to go over. First off, man defense has gone down so much this year, so having your best players cover where your best defenders cover the best receivers or tight ends in the game would have been key for Madden 17. You have somebody like Tyrann Mathieu who has 96 man, who's playing safety. I mean, he'll be able to cover tight ends like Gronk or Julius Thomas or Jake Reed for the Redskins or whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of solid tight ends out there, even like Travis Kelce, Martellus Bennett, Jimmy Graham. Tyrann Mathieu is a small guy, but with his covering ability, he's able to cover these guys. Now, with that being said, he's a 96 man and he's a safety, and there's a lot of cornerbacks that don't even have above 80 man. I think Sonny Weaver with the 4 verts posted that there are 79 maybe total guys that have 80 plus man rating. I mean, that's what defensive assignments would be key this year. You have somebody like Revis or any of the high-end guys. You can go anywhere from Revis or anywhere to like Xavier Rhodes, who's a solid cornerback, like the 80 tier and up, who have 80-plus man coverage. Those are the guys you want to be on the elite of the elite. So let's take into account you have Antonio Brown on the Steelers offense, and you don't want, if he gets put into the slot or if he gets put into the number 2 receiver spot, you're not able to have your best, defender, your best cornerback on him. And that kind of sucks in a way because, especially with the ratings toned down, especially with the defenders and the receivers, you don't want to have a guy that can't cover on Antonio Brown. I mean, that's not what you want. I would want my best cornerback on him all game, especially now with the ratings being dumbed down. This would have been the perfect year. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. I mean, like, we ask for so much in the Madden community, and they can only do so much in a limited time that they have. These guys bust their behinds and getting everything that we want and some of the things that we don't want that we didn't know about, or, they do bust their butts, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And as fans of Madden and as players of Madden, we want what we want. There's so much we do want, and they do their best to give us what we want. So let's commend the dev team from EA for doing everything that they can. I promise you that just from me talking to them, that they want to give us what we want, but it's only so much that they can do. I mean, all we do is play the game. Like, we're behind the scenes playing the game. I mean, we're not behind the scenes, but we're playing the game after the game comes out. Like, these guys have to put all the coding and all the analytics and all that stuff into the game, that they put in all the hard work that goes unseen. And we need to give more credit where credit is due as far as what they do. So, but I mean, as far as defensive assignments to go, we had it, years back, and for the most part, it worked. And I can see how things might not be able to work on this, man. Let's just say if you wanted to have Tyrann Mathieu guarding Gronk, and you defensive assigned him. So let's say if you're running two-man under, and Tyrann Mathieu is playing safety, and he's going to be in a deep blue. So how would that work necessarily? Does the slot guy automatically just cover Gronk, or does Tyrann Mathieu go into the slot and another safety, or maybe the cornerback that was playing the slot, goes to safety and play that deep blue zone? That's the thing you kind of have to think about. You got to think about how they could code that in to where that could take place. And that's where I kind of see it being somewhat difficult, especially with that scenario with the safety guard and a tight end or maybe a slot receiver. But whenever he's in a man defense, but his responsibility is zone, then how will they correlate that to where he could be on his man, but who's going to take his spot? So I can kind of see how that is. As far as like CBs, like your top CBs guarding the top receivers, I can see how that can work. Like they don't do anything other. But then again, they have some concepts in this Madden where there's man and zone. I mean, they have a cover two defense to where on one side of the defense is man and the other side of the defense is zone. So with all the new zones, I can kind of get an understanding of why they wasn't able to put defensive assignments in this year. So I guess as the game progresses, we're going to be able to see what's going to happen. I think it was more about being able to defend a lot more against the offense with the zones. And the zones do play a major role in Madden 17. And it's needed because offenses are able to kind of do whatever they want. And they're able to do a lot of the certain concepts over and over again. And there's not too much you can do to adjust to it without getting burnt on the backside or over the top or something like that. So we just have to see. I mean, we all want defensive assignments. Like, it's so important to be able to put who you want on whoever you want. Like, not only are we playing Madden, but we're using our minds to kind of adjust to what our opponents are doing and having a certain kind of scheme to adjust to whatever the opponent is doing. So we all want defensive assignments. And I'm sure that the dev team is going to do whatever they can to get it in. And we should have it here within the next couple of years, I think. I mean, they are saying, quote unquote, we're going to have a formation sub patch. The only downside to that, from what I've heard, is that you're only able to do formation subs to stock playbooks. So in a way, it's kind of annoying because mostly everybody makes a playbook, especially in the Madden Bomber League, where we're only able to pick one play on offense per game. So we have to open up our playbook so much, so it's going to kind of suck that we do want to be able to do formation subs, but it's only so much that we can do because we have created playbooks. So I guess the great way for me, I would still create my own offensive playbook, but defensively I wouldn't create a playbook. So that way I can adjust more, because it's so much easier to adjust on offense, and it's so much easier to do things on offense than there is on defense, which was why EA made it to where you couldn't do all your hot routes before the offensive line sets. So that was a big key to defense. I think EA's pushing more towards helping the defense out a lot more against the offense, because it's a lot easier to do things and adjust on offense than there is on defense. So I guess we just have to see what happens in the future. I'm really hoping for defensive assignments soon, well, sooner than later. I don't think that there's any way possible that they'll be put in 2 Madden 17. But trust me, guys, the way they've shaped up the defense a lot this year is gonna help out a whole lot. The zones are great. The gap pressure is great. Defending the vertical deep routes, I mean the fly routes, it's all there. They give you all the tools to take care of business once Madden 17 comes out. So, I mean, we want a lot, as I said, and we got to get what we can get. This is what we have for Madden 17. I'm pretty sure they'll have some mini patches to patch up some stuff, but I don't think it's going to be anything major other than the quote-unquote formation subs. So we'll just have to see what happens, guys. I'm hoping for the best, but I always keep an open mind to what the dev team is doing, because they're doing the best that they can, and there's only so much they can do. So with that being said, that's all I have to talk about with the defensive assignments today. They're definitely needed. We all want them, but there's so much behind the scenes that we don't know about that we don't know how it's going to correlate. So, I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see and just go from there. But I promise you guys, I mean, I played the game. I've said this many times. I played the game at EA Play. Everyone's going to have a chance to get their hands on the game that's on Xbox at EA Access on the 18th. So I'm looking forward to everybody being able to play the game and kind of get an aspect for it like I have. I mean, 10 plus hours of gameplay, not the most hours in the world, but it's 10 plus hours more than a lot of people have been able to play. And I've used that 10 plus hours to give back to the community on how I feel about things, what I saw, and what I think. So I'm just going to keep on pushing out content until the game comes out. And when the game comes out, I'm going to push content looking, to the next things they can add to the game. I just want to just put as much information out as I can and learn as much information as I can from everybody, as far as from YouTube channels to talking to the dev team, hitting them up on Twitter, reading all the comments you guys post, reading the tweets that people tweet out to the dev team. Like they respond and they give feedback to us, and they are able to take constructive criticism. So I just keep my ears out and just listen and see what I can get a hold of, and I just make sure that I get as much information out to you guys. On my next video in probably a week, I'm going to be doing a video on the draft board, which I think is the most needed aspect of CFM ever. I mean, we got to have draft board, in my opinion. That's the biggest one I've wanted since, I think it was Madden 13. And I think the draft board works only in when you did a fantasy draft. When you draft your players, you was able to put all the players that you wanted in the order, and the computer would draft them accordingly if you wasn't around. So I'll get into that more next week, but for now, I'm just going to end it off with this. Please like and subscribe, MBL Network. Leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, or if you'd like me to talk about a certain topic, or if you guys would, or girls, would like me to expand on anything. I'm here. I'm listening. My eyes are always on YouTube, looking at the comment section, seeing what you all are saying. Thank you guys very much. We have much more content. Be sure to check out Sony Weaver on the Four Verts podcast and MBL Tonight, our virtual studio. Check out Project Fat on the Extra Point podcast. Jay Wack is coming out with a new podcast about the MBL, Madden Bomber League, of course. And Bronco Beef is doing the new Lockdown podcast for Grid. So, oh yeah, we have team selection tomorrow for the Madden Bomber League. Tomorrow, I want to say 7. I'll get back to you guys with that. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Check that out. We're doing great things. We've come up with a template to post everyone's team and their best players, and we're going to do a live team draft selection tomorrow. So make sure you all check that out. I'll have a description in the I have a link in the description to our Twitter, so that way you guys can stay on top of what we're doing. So until then, thank you guys very much, and I'm out.